Welcome to the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. This induction video, sponsored by the federal government, is designed to give all new employees a non-sexist, politically correct version of the Chamber of Commerce. So without further ado, let's go on inside and meet the people that make up this wonderful organisation. Oh, we seem to have a slight problem. There's some more industrial action taking place. Must be as a result of those workplace agreements that people aren't very keen to sign. That's okay, we'll come back a bit later. The Chamber of Commerce is a notoriously hierarchical organisation, and it's reflected very efficiently in our car parks. There are 3 car parks. The first car park that people use is this one, which is allocated to support staff. Recently erected as a barbed wire fence, supposedly because there's been a number of broken windows that have occurred from an anonymous rock thrower. Personally speaking, I don't think that's true. There's no evidence of any windows being broken at all. Righting, okay. The second car park is the car park directly behind the disused petrol station. It's about 8:30 on a Saturday morning, and as you can see, there are quite a number of cars here. Now, I could tell you that's because people come to work regularly on Saturday mornings, but that would probably be an exaggeration. The real reason is we've had a number of run-ins with the law recently through these booze buses. So employees now that have a few sherbets on a Friday night are required to leave their cars in this car park and take a taxi home so they do the right thing. So if you see a few cars here on a Saturday morning, don't be alarmed. They're simply because people had a decent night the night before. Anyway, and the final car park is the car park which is closest to the building. There's a very good reason for that, and that's because by the time you're a senior member of staff, your joints are normally so arthritic that you can't really walk that far. So they place all the oldies as close as they can to this building. Now, as you'll see, the car park's a little bit empty. That's because it's 10 o'clock on a Monday morning and no one, or very few people are in. That's because they've actually just had a big team building weekend at El Cabano Blanco, and we expect a bit of a late appearance from some of our more senior staff. But when you've made it, you'll be given a car parking bay in this area. The first place where all people are required to report before entering the Chamber of Commerce building is, of course, the reception centre. At the reception centre, you will be issued with a security pass, which will give you limited access to the various parts of the Chamber of Commerce building. The reception centre can be found right in front of our International Trade Centre. Now, the International Trade Centre, run by Mr. Ian Whittaker, was up until a couple of years ago losing a fair bit of money. But as a result of an exciting new import-export program with our Southeast Asian neighbours, they've been able to turn quite a tidy profit. In fact, I think we have a delivery coming now.
G'day, love. Usual monthly cocaine delivery. Want to sign here?
Can I just test it? Thanks.
Yep, okay. Usual quality.
Yep, that's
That all
fine.
right?
Thank you.
Cheers.
As you can see, we encourage all forms of private enterprise. Here we are on the first floor. The first floor is a Labour Relations Division floor, and what characterises this floor from all others is the team-building nature and the harmonious way in which all staff work. There's no... Yep.
Have you seen Alicia?
I think she might be making a cup of tea.
Thank you.
Courteous, polite, we all get on very well together, which is really important. And apart from the odd team-building exercise that goes wrong, we really do work very well as a unit. On the first floor, we have the world-famous Special Projects Construction Team. And the Special Projects Team is in charge of providing the industrial relations advice for multi-million-dollar projects around Western Australia. With me this morning is Mr. Ken Dwyer, who is recently appointed Deputy Manager of the Special Projects Team. Ken, looks like we've got a fairly major construction project underway here. What's the dollar value of this project?
Twuck.
And tell me, have there been any accidents on site so far?
Crane.
What about industrial disputes? Any industrial disputes so far?
Toy man.
And when do you think the project will finish, Ken?
Safety signs.
Right, well, as you can see, this particular team is very much in demand. Its expertise is world-renowned, and we look forward to your involvement in this section. Second floor, we're standing just in front of General Office. Now, we've developed this little observation booth which has a one-way mirror which allows us to see what's going on out there without them seeing what's going on in here. Now, what we're going to do now is have a little bit of a listen to the gossip going on at General Office, see what they hear, and let's see if we can pick up any juicy information.
Yeah, that's why it was a sticky
I'll tell you who's really immature around here is that Alistair.
He's gross.
See what he did to
After
the
the
board
award
yesterday. I mean,
That was
yeah.
Oh, Helen laughed.
What's going on? You've got some work to do. What's the problem here? It's fax machines, papers. Come on, let's go on with it. What's going on? Also on the third floor is the telephone advisory service, described by some as the grey power nerve centre of the Chamber of Commerce. With me is Chris and Joanna, who, as dedicated trained operatives of the Chamber of Commerce, are at the front line, the cutting edge of customer contact. Busy day, guys.
Yeah, flat out actually.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you answer the phone or something or other? It's
Fine. Oh, no, we got voicemail, mate. We
Handles it all.
No worries.
great invention. Well, look, I know you're obviously pretty busy because it's almost lunchtime and you'll have things to do, so we'll leave you at it. Okay. Another one of the must-see areas of the Chamber of Commerce building on the second floor is the training centre. The training centre has gone through a rapid period of growth due to some exciting and new developmental training techniques. To explain those further, I'd like to hand you over to training legend guru Peter Martin. Peter.
Thank you very much, Alistair. Look, it's nice to have you all along here today for this session. I honestly think that this video says it all, and rather than me stand up here preaching, I'll put the video on and we'll talk about it afterwards.
As a membership organisation, it's very important that we recruit new businesses to join our exciting private enterprise organisation. In order to do that, we have a number of liaison officers whose job it is to go out and recruit members. One of them with me now is David. And David, can you explain to us how it is you go about recruiting people?
Yes, I'd be delighted to, Alistair. We have four basic methods of recruiting members to the Chamber. And we find that any one of these four work very well, or a combination of all four, sometimes with the more difficult ones. So the first one, the area we go to, we usually find that there's a fair percentage of our members that will react very favourably to either drugs or alcohol.
That's encouraging.
Yes, it is. It's encouraging. You know, we find we can just gently move in on this one, get them signed up, and usually when they're in a state of virtual collapse, you know, they're in, everything's done, no worries at all.
Fantastic. If that doesn't work, what do you do then?
Well, now, if that's not really coming off very well, then we need the art of what we call gentle persuasion. You know, a bit of S&M, a bit of leather, a whip, you know, handcuffs, that sort of thing. Because there is, after all, you know, a percentage of the population that react to this sort of thing. In fact, they love it, quite honestly. They really go for this sort of stuff.
Percentage of the staff respond to it too.
Well, yes, I must admit, you know, some of us, them, really quite enjoy a bit of S&M.
Okay, what do we do if that doesn't work?
Ah, well, now, if the old gentle persuasion doesn't work, we've got to start getting serious here. So we look at the whole situation very carefully, and quite often, sex appeals the go. Right here, well, what more could the female members of the Chamber, in fact, female members of the staff, I guess, you know, not only our members, but the staff, they wouldn't, you know, they wouldn't hesitate, would they? Well, they might. They might a little bit, I suppose.
I wouldn't, but I'm married.
Yeah. And we might leave that one. And if that, of course, doesn't work, and quite often it doesn't, then, of course, finally, well, the old coup de grace. I mean, a bit of forceful persuasion, gun to the temple, you know, sign here or I'll blow your brains out. Works every time. Thank you very much.
I'm impressed, and that probably explains why we have such a very high membership retention rate. At the Chamber of Commerce, we encourage all new employees to join our growing and vibrant social club. With me this morning is Christine Brown, a member of the Social Club Committee. Christine, what's the purpose of the Social Club?
Oh, Alistair, the charter of the social club is to maximise social intercourse, and the two themes that we have running this year, sex and alcohol.
That's good, because that's probably what most people want.
That's what our surveys indicate.
And what have we got as an example of these themes?
Well, the alcohol part of the theme, we've recently had a funding for the Respect Yourself campaign, a sculling competition, also sponsored by Tequila, the El Toro Tequila. The sex theme, we've got this Friday the Foxy Boxing competition. So there's something in there for everyone.
That's quite popular with the librarians, I believe.
Well, you must believe.
Here on the 4th floor, there are a number of association services which are looked after by some of our more senior and endearing staff. Legend has it that a horrible murder occurred up here some years ago as a result of a disagreement between a number of members. As a result of that, there has been some instances of the supernatural occurring, none of which I personally believe is true, nor is there any evidence to suggest that's the case. But nevertheless, we do recommend that all our female members of staff are accompanied by a man when coming up to visit any of those in charge of the association services. But come on up anyway and have a look. At the Chamber of Commerce, we take our responsibilities towards minorities very seriously. In fact, as part of our Equal Opportunity Plan, we offend all minorities equally. And as part of our reporting requirements to the federal government, as part of its equal opportunity laws, we've developed an affirmative action kit. To explain our affirmative action kit, let's talk to our affirmative action coordinator, Mr. Jeffrey Bull. Jeff, what's in the kit?
Well, thank you, Alistair. It's a very important kit and one that's got a lot of detailed items in it. The first one is the mace, and that's used by female staff as the mode of first resistance. Unfortunately, mace has been around for some time now, and some of our more long-term serving employees have developed an immune system towards the mace. In particular, David Jones is it's like water off a duck's back for David Jones. The second one, if the mace is not very successful, is the bull whistle, and that whistle is to be blown by all females if they're in any danger. The next one there is the lucky condom, and that's issued to all women. And as a matter of fact, a number of women have come back and asked for extra lucky condoms. They must be proving very lucky. And the last one there we have is the All Men Are Bastards doll. Now that's one where we know that there's been some form of harassment, some form of tampering with the body, and we don't like to ask the women all the details, exactly what nooks and crannies are being tampered with. So we just get them to point out the particular part of the body that's been touched, and we then videotape that. We don't put anything in writing, and we don't ask them to say anything, and we show that video back at social club functions.
Now, Jeff, since this kit was introduced, apart from those 2 scandals involving the 5th floor, have there been any other reports of sexual harassment?
We don't actually accept any harassment reports officially.
Right.
Unofficial, and we refuse to forward them on to the Equal Opportunity Tribunal.
Oh, we have got an exemption under the law. One of the dodgy things we negotiated as part of our commitment to equal opportunity. Anyway, thank you very much, Jeffrey, and we look forward to your continued success.
Just explain, Alistair. The affirmative action kit is available on next year's Royal Show for a low price of $6.50.
What a bargain. Sorry, are we on?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Recording you.
Also on the 5th floor, we have the boardroom. Now, the boardroom is the most important room in the whole building because that's where the really important decisions are made, like the colour of our carpet or where we place the postcode on envelopes. But what you're about to see is an exclusive. Behind this door is actually the executive fridge. Now, they didn't want you to know about it, but I think you should. Now, this is where all the powers that be, in fact, have a quiet sherbet after work. So let's have a look and see what people prefer to drink. Well, Lyndon's obviously very much a Jim Beam man, so if you see him with a glass of Coke, chances are it's been mixed with something. Joe Lenzo gets his raspy voice from obviously something that's a little bit stronger, and paint thinner is probably quite good with a couple of cubes of ice. Doug Lambert, on the other hand, is quite a healthy young chap and keeps his youthful looks by drinking calcium because, let's face it, brittle bones need that extra lift. And something that probably has been left over from a previous meeting, and we won't go into that because it's not strictly legal in this state, is what Lynn likes to chew on, shall I say. So that's the executive fridge. Keep out of it, of course, unless you're wearing gloves that don't leave any fingerprints. No organisation would be complete without its team leader, and the Chamber of Commerce has one of the finest captains that money can buy. Lyndon Rowe. Now, we can't actually disturb him because he is planning the future of mankind, but I can give you the tip that the odd gift or two to Lyndon, in fact, generally is fairly good for one's career. Let's have a little look here and see what some other staff members have left behind. Apart from the usual toys and alcohol, let's sneak a peek at some of these cards and see what people have offered. Well, this is from Doug Lambert. Dear Lyndon, I hope you enjoy this Westfield wine. Keep up the good work, all my love. Good on you, Doug. That's pretty sentimental. And what have we got here? This is from Ross McLean, who's given some Defender snail and slug killer pellets. Dear Lyndon, these vitamin pills are guaranteed to give you long and happy life. Please take as many as you can. I'm not prepared to wait forever. All my love, Ross. Some people pursue different career options and different types of bribery, and we've got a couple of examples there. Well, that concludes our tour of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and we hope you've enjoyed an insight into our organisation. Just remember, above all else, our employees come first. We provide very good conditions of employment, wages and salaries, and we have a very low staff turnover as a result of this. It really is one of the fine places to work in Western Australia. And just remember, we care about you, so come and stay with us for as long as possible. After you've reported to reception to find out which meeting you're supposed to be in, which you forgot because you've been at lunch for 4 hours, you can of course come straight to the Chamber of Commerce meetings and notice board, and on that you'll find out who's got what excuse and who's got what meeting and association on at any particular time. The purpose of the Chamber of Commerce is, of course, to support like-minded private enterprise organisations, and as such we have a range of business-orientated support groups represented here.
Union official approaching, union official approaching. Uh-oh, it's a dodger inspector. Right. Chamber of Commerce, we also have a very vibrant and active special projects department, which, as you can see, is actually in charge of multi-million-dollar projects on behalf of Western Australian companies. And we spare no expense in ensuring that our employees are trained to utilise all equipment safely and securely.
Yes.
At the Social Club, we encourage as much social intercourse between staff members as possible, and as such, we have a very vibrant and active social sex, because let's face it, that's what most people really want. Next Friday, for example, we have our annual Foxy Boxing Night, a very popular event, particularly with the staff from library.
Recording.
Next person we'd like you to just let them record.
It's on.
Next person who we'd like you to meet as part of our induction process is Jeff Bull, who's in charge of policy. That is, he reads government initiatives, works out what's wrong with them, and then confuses them even more by putting an alternative submission in. Let's go and meet Jeff. Hello, Jeff, you there? Oh, he's not here. He's not here. Obviously, he's out having a meeting with Graham Kirill or something or other. This is the engine room, and it's quite clear that Jeff's very busy with some policy work. Obviously, he's quite busy with the South Australian Industrial Gazettes, looking at some precedents that might what have we got here? Yes, well, obviously, he's perhaps not hard at work as we thought he might be, or wants to be hard at work. So anyway, we'll leave this be, because clearly it's private. The next person who we'll introduce you to as part of our induction program is Jeff Bull. He's in charge of policy. That is, he reviews government legislation, finds the flaws, and then reports them to our managers and people and above, who then go and talk to the government and try and... The next person who we'd like you to be introduce you to as part of our induction program is Jeff Bull. Jeff Bull's in charge of the large and growing policy department, which has The next person who we'll introduce you to as part of our induction program is Jeff Bull. Jeff Bull is in charge of the policy department. As part of our induction program is Jeff Bull, who's in charge of the policy department. Now, the policy department, a rapidly growing department, has a number of roles. Barbed wire fence. Right, when you've made the really big time, like you've been promoted to general office or something or other, you are then given an honorary car parking bay in this particular spot. Now, for some time we've had a problem at the CCI, and that is that some of the windows behind me have been smashed. We haven't been able to track who the person was, and we've got no idea. So anyway, in order to stop it happening, we erected this fence here. And the only thing, though, is that actually it keeps staff in, and we believe that's the... To
put it in a nutshell, I think a training officer learns most from a video, and we've got an excellent video for you today, which I'm going to put on right now. We'll talk about it afterwards. I'm a bit of trouble with the technology here.
Keep going.
What's he done? No, it won't go. No? Christ all bloody mighty.
Now you're rewinding it.
We're definitely going to have to run this again. Oh, what a bastard, huh?
You couldn't have asked for
Okay.
Hang on.
Hey, we got it now.
Okay, are we ready? What are we going to do?
Do it again. Is it still rolling? Yeah, bro. Okay. Another one of the must-see areas of the Chamber of Commerce building is, of course, the training centre. It's gone through a very rapid period of recent growth as a result of some new and exciting training techniques. And in order to give you... Excuse me, have you paid? I'm sorry, I don't think your name was on the list. Actually, just take it...
And we'll talk about it afterwards. Now, I want you to concentrate. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so take.
I'd like to take
Chamber of Commerce building, the first place you should stop is, of course, the reception centre. The reception... blah, blah. Don't get RSI. Don't get RSI. Okay. When entering the Chamber of Commerce building, of course, all visitors are requested to report to the reception desk where they'll be issued with suitable security identification passes. The reception desk can be found right in front of...
Yeah, we're going to be able to slice it, remember? Battery.
Place to stop at the... No. The first place is called first place. The first place where all people are required to report before entering the Chamber of Commerce building is, of course, the reception centre. At the reception centre, you will be issued with a security pass, which will give you limited access to the various parts of the Chamber of Commerce building. The reception centre can be found right in front of our internet as the absolute brains of the whole organisation. Well, mind you, they're only people... That's too early, isn't it?
Too early, Mike.
Hang up. Oh, it doesn't matter. Also on the third floor is the telephone advisory service, described by some as the brains of the entire organisation. Here is the front line of customer contact, and it's absolutely vital that we have accurate information from highly qualified, skilled operatives like Chris and Joanna. So we'll have a bit of a chat to them about what's going on. Chris, look pretty busy today. You've had a few calls, have you?
Absolutely flat out, mate.
Joanna, what's going on?
I know, it's pretty busy. I've heard Kimberley Davies is contemplating a breast reduction.
Oh, you're joking. Those operations should be illegal.
End of the career, I say.
Well,
I'm not one for sexist comments, but...
Well, we better take her photos down out of the boys' room on the third floor, that's for sure.
I wouldn't know about that, but I know she's a role model for many females.
Anyway, I can see you two are really busy. Just keep... As an equal opportunity employer, the Chamber of Commerce... Just keep recording.
Okay, we're recording.
Okay, good. Just leave and record. Right.
Can you see me from that angle?
Yeah, you're strutting beautifully.
Okay, ready? Wait, okay.
Reverse strut.
Okay. In today's modern age, many women hit a glass ceiling, but not...
You should have said it's in your office.
Okay, keep recording.
I'm recording,
Okay.
for God's sake.
Right. At the Chamber of Commerce, we don't believe that any minority should be offended unless it's equal. No way. Okay. At the... That's exact. At the Chamber of Commerce, we have an equal opportunity policy, and that is to offend all minorities equally. And in order to support our equal opportunity policy, we ensure that the glass ceiling is not only broke, but shattered, so that every woman has a fair chance at becoming executive director. providing they can, of course, grow a goatee. As part of our equal opportunity policy, we've appointed an equal opportunity officer, Mr. Jeffrey Bull, who...
It's a very important kit, this one, and one the Chamber fully backs. In particular, I should explain the first initiation when new employees come on site, and that is they're taken into this quiet, secluded room, and it's locked from behind. The lights are turned off just to put the new employee at ease. They are then told about affirmative action. Well, I've never heard of any unlucky conduct.
Take equal opportunity rules and legislation very, very seriously. In fact, we have a very strict motto, and that is equal opportunity means we offend all minorities equally. And as part of our commitment to offending all minorities equally...
Do video it later, and it's shown at social club functions.
Now, Jeff, the... Is that during working hours?
It's the Friday afternoon wipeout, so yeah, with a little bit of work time. This coming Friday, we've got a special sex theme, and this week it's the Foxy Boxing. And that's, there's lots in it for the ladies and the gents. The gents love to watch and the ladies really like to get into it.
That'll be popular with the librarians and the special projects team.
Oh, is that right? Not privy to the first floor room as Mr. Tomlinson, but yes. We do have a grapevine and rumour line as well for the lies side of our...
Recording? This floor from all on this floor is actually quite notoriously fantastic. And apart from the odd hiccup, we generally speaking get on very well.
Now, hang on, look a second. Look, serious. I just got to get...
Leave it on record, leave it on record. Leave it on record.
But why, we're not going to be looking at the camera anyway, are we? Get that thing out of my face. How can I get... Well, it's very hard.
Okay,
sorry.
Ready, we're starting now. Also on the first floor we have the world famous Special Projects Construction Team, and recently appointed to the Deputy Manager's position is Mr. Ken Dwyer. Ken, you've been in charge of some very big projects over the years, but looks like we've got one of the biggest here. What's the $1 million value of this one?
Oh, it's about 500,000, Alistair.
And have we had any construction problems with this this job so far?
How do I answer that? I thought you were going to perhaps
you might like to run through what exactly we have on this site.
Yes, well, on this site, Alistair, we obviously have this this truck here. Can you get a shot of that? And we have a crane here. Can we get a shot of that?
It's not a crane.
You idiots! You're not supposed to correct him on it.
Sorry.
It's deliberate.
Well, it's
And you're laughing and that'll be picked up.
It will not.
It will.
Quentin,
How many takes on this?
We're doing this again. Keep rolling. Rolling?
Keep shooting,
Yes.
Right. No laughing. And if he wants to muck it up, that's fine. It's part of the thing.
Part of the sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Go.
Also on the first floor we have the world famous Special Projects Construction Team, and with me today is recently appointed Deputy Manager of that section, Mr. Ken Dwyer. Ken, you've been in charge of a number of big multi-million-dollar projects over the years, but looks like we've got one of the biggest ones here today.
Oh, that's true, Alistair. It's a big one. This is one of the biggest.
And perhaps, Ken, you might be able to explain what it is that is being built here.
Well, what we're building here is a Meccano. Can you look at those? I can't do that. I can't answer. Give me 3 questions before you start.
Say it's a Meccano mine.
I don't know, just tell me you don't know yet. We've actually had an accident on site.
I still think the best thing you do
There's
should
been
be
an
asking
accident
that
on
question.
site, and
We're not quite sure what we're building. We're just getting a lot of money from the special projects.
yeah, well, that's fine. Okay. Still rolling?
Yes.
Okay. Also on the first floor we have the world famous Special Projects Construction Team, and with me today is Deputy Manager of that section, recently appointed Mr. Ken Dwyer. Ken, you've been in charge of some big projects over the years. Looks like this is one of the biggest.
That's right, Alistair. This is another big project.
And how many $1 million is this project worth?
Oh, it's about 500,000.
About 500,000. Okay. Also on the first floor we have the world famous Special Projects Construction Team. And with me this afternoon is newly appointed Deputy Manager of that section, Mr. Ken Dwyer. Ken, looks like we've got a fairly major construction job in front of us. What's the value of this project?
That's true, Alistair, very, very true. I'd say it's in the vicinity of 50,000.
50,000.